Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Claire. I am a first-time mom with another one on the way, so soon to be a mom of two. My daughter is a little over a year old, and today I really wanted to sit down and make a video to just kind of talk about 5 main things that I've learned in the first year of my daughter's life. By no means am I an expert. I definitely struggle a lot with feeling like I'm a good mom or I know what I'm doing because, again, my daughter's only one. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we do have another one on the way, so soon I'll be a little more experienced, I guess. Okay, so the first big lesson that I've learned in this first year of motherhood is to expect the unexpected. And I think a lot of people would say that that's very true when it comes to kids, but also just life in general. My daughter's birth went very differently than I had planned or expected. So right off the bat, jumping into having a kid and motherhood, it was not what me or my husband expected at all. And that quickly just taught us to let go of any expectations that we have of parenthood or what it looks like to have a kid. That was a very fast lesson of just learning to go with the flow, and really kind of embrace that they're going to control what happens. We're not in control whatsoever. They are in control. And I think there's a lot of videos out there that kind of talk about like tips for motherhood or preparing you for motherhood, but I think kind of in this first main point of expect the unexpected is nothing really prepares you for motherhood. I think when you're going to be a first-time mom, you have all of these ideas and you're excited about everything, and it's definitely exciting and it's very fun, but I think nothing truly prepares you for what it's like to be a mom because you don't know what your kid's going to be like. You really don't. And your kid is going to be whoever they are, and you can try to raise them a certain way, but they come out and they have a personality of their own right from the beginning. At least that's what's true of my daughter for sure. The second thing that I have learned, and this is hard, and I've learned this over and over and over again, is let people help you. Whenever we had our daughter, my parents essentially moved into our house, which was nice. It was kind of overwhelming. They live in a different country, so obviously, they wanted to come and meet their first grandchild and they needed somewhere to stay. So they basically moved in with us, and it was a lot, but also having their help and having the help of my husband's family as well was I don't know how we would have done it without them. Our daughter was in the NICU for a while, and so we were in the hospital she was in the NICU for 8 days, and then I also ended up being in the hospital for about 7. I had a C-section, so you're normally in the hospital longer with a C-section, but then I also got preeclampsia after I had my daughter, and so then I was in the hospital for even longer, and we had no plan or intention of being in the hospital that long, and our daughter was born a month early, and we had 3 animals at home. We had no plan for that whatsoever. But my family showed up, they took care of the animals, they took care of our house, and that was very helpful. Something that, we literally had no plan for that. So letting them help in that way. And then my dad also cooked every single meal that we ate for at least 2 weeks, which is very helpful. If you have someone in your life who is willing to come and cook for you in those first couple weeks, let them. Because I think about what it's going to look like with this next child, and again, expect the unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen, but letting people in to help is huge. And I am very bad at asking for help, but there have been many times in my daughter's life so far that we've learned that we need help and we need to be okay asking for help. Another thing that I have learned in this first year is, and I guess this kind of goes along with the first one of expect the unexpected, but is embrace the chaos, accept the chaos. It's gonna be hectic. I am someone who likes things very orderly, very neat, and it's really hard to have order and neatness when you have a newborn. And I think that I think back to those first couple weeks and I truly don't remember much. You kind of actually block out a lot of what happens in the first couple months of your child's life because you're exhausted. So it's hard to remember a lot. But I do remember it being messy. Our house was a disaster. Now, I will also say we were in the process of moving. So we had our daughter in January and we moved in March, I believe. So it was very soon after. I was still on maternity leave when we moved. So it was definitely within the first 12 weeks of her life. We moved from a house into a tiny apartment. So along with packing up our house, the logistics of moving, signing a lease, all of that, we had to downsize significantly. So we were going through, what do we want to get rid of? And doing that with a newborn and learning, not only having a newborn, but being first-time parents and learning what it looks like as parents. That changes the dynamic between you and your partner quite a bit, and learning how to take care of yourselves and also learning how to take care of a new living creature that doesn't know how to survive. It's a lot. And so we definitely relied on other people a lot, but also it was chaotic. And again, having 3 animals in the mix makes it a lot messier and more chaotic. If you learn to accept the chaos and just know that there's always going to kind of be some level of mess, and you're always going to be kind of busy and have to think about, okay, their nap schedule, their feeding schedule, things like that along the way, you'll be a lot happier if you just learn to embrace it and accept it. The 4th big lesson that I've learned is to let go of expectations. And this one is kind of, it could be let go of your expectation of parenthood, but also just like in the day-to-day, you have to really learn to let go of not necessarily what you want to get out of the day, but at the same time, kind of what you want to get out of the day. I'm someone who loves to be productive, loves to get stuff done around the house. And I remember those first months of my daughter's life feeling like I was wasting time just sitting in the rocking chair and feeding her, rocking her, comforting her. And it makes me sad to think about now because, I yearn for those times now that she's 1 and constantly moving. I'm like, I wish you would just sit still and let me rock you, but she doesn't want that anymore. But to just be okay with not getting stuff done or realizing that what you're doing, taking care of your newborn, is the most important thing that you should be doing in that moment. That was really hard for me to learn and to accept. And I think I'll probably even still struggle with that with the second one of, just sitting and being okay if there's a mess in the house. Like, you'll get to it later. There will always be a mess. You can clean it later. But also, even just on the day-to-day now, sometimes my husband and I will be like, oh, we're going to put her to bed and then we're going to watch a movie or we're going to watch a hockey game or something. But then she decides she doesn't want to sleep right now. And, she really, really fights it and she's just screaming and crying and she really needs to be comforted, or she's hungrier than we thought she was, or, she's sick. And so you have to, do a little bit more like comforting her and consoling her. And then she's not asleep until 9:30 and you've just spent 2 hours trying to get someone to sleep and you're exhausted now or you're cranky now. I find myself even still like rocking her to sleep and it's like it's taking longer. You have to just let go of what you wanted out of your evening and just learn to be okay with whatever happens and just know that, again, your child, like, you chose to have this child and this child is the most important job right now, is like raising them, helping them, comforting them, nurturing them. And that can be really hard. And I still struggle with that probably every single day. But that is another big lesson that I've learned in this first year, is just let go and you'll be happier. And then the last thing, and this is kind of more of a personal thing in terms of like being the mom and being the one who gave birth to this child, and you go through 9 months of your body changing, and then all of a sudden you have this crazy hormonal shift, and it could either be really good or really bad, and then your body is changing still afterwards. And then for me, in my experience, I got pregnant 9 months later, so now my body is all of a sudden changing again. You have to learn to become really at peace with yourself. And this was something that I definitely struggled with a lot postpartum, like in the immediate phase postpartum, because you leave the hospital and you still look pregnant. You know, it's not like your stomach just goes flat immediately and you're squishy and you're larger than you were and you don't fit in your clothes right and you don't know what to wear, and you go through this period too, or at least I did, where you just have insane night sweats. Like I would wake up just soaked and it's gross, and you wake up and you're cold because you're sweaty, and then you like change your clothes. It's a mess. And then, or if you're breastfeeding, like you wake up and you've leaked milk everywhere, which ruins your clothes and smells bad, and just things like that are uncomfortable. And then also postpartum as a woman, you just smell bad, which is kind of gross, but it's true. Like your body odor changes, and so it's hard to feel clean because you just kind of always smell bad. Something that my mom told me, which I really held on to, is that, you know, what you learn postpartum is to just really embrace the essence of you, because you don't necessarily have time every day to take a long shower, or you don't have time to put on makeup, or you don't have time to do your hair. And you know, maybe you do, like maybe those things are super important to you and that's how you take care of yourself, and that's great. For me, that's not necessarily, I mean, showering of course is a top priority, but I'm not someone who wears a lot of makeup or does my hair a lot every day. I'm more of like, put my hair up, put lotion on my face, like good to go. But it was definitely hard, and I think I kind of kept that saying in my head of like, essence of you, just embrace the essence of you. Like, yes, you smell a little bit different, but that's you, and that's who you are right now. And anyway, so those are 5 things that I have learned in this first year of my daughter's life, and I'm very excited to create more videos. I would love to do a video where I just sit down and talk about my birth and what it looked like and what we experienced, and like our experience in the NICU. I know I kind of mentioned that. It was hard. And I feel for anybody out there who has to be in the NICU for any amount of time, because no matter how long it is, it's stressful. But I would love to do a video about that as well. And then also just kind of take you guys along on the journey. I am 18 weeks pregnant today. So baby's due at the end of July. We're kind of expecting baby to come early again, just because my first one came a month early. So anyways, I hope you took something from this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.